From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here, as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. In the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in week 4. Kadarius Toney going to elect to bring this one out, and in hindsight probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Hey, 15, 15, 15. 15, 15.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Brandon Smith with a nice rush to get him down. We were wondering what they would do defensively to disrupt Patrick Mahomes. Sacking him on the first drive, that's a really good way to set a tone.
The last thing you want to do is let him get established in the pocket where he can set his feet and throw wherever he wants to. Even though he does it well on the run and on the move, you definitely want to get him off the spot in the pocket.
A run by Pacheco on 2nd down. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So 3rd down, and defensively the Rams have added 2 extra DBs.
Hey, 57, 57.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Ernest Jones drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Returnable here from the 38. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Stafford. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Mecole Hardman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
2nd down and 8. They'll run the draw here with Swift. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well. And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins. And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. You talk about this Chiefs defense. They're a unit that struggled some against the run, no doubt, coming in 25th out of 32 teams.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game because they're facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means it's going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And the Chiefs showing a dime look as they defend this 3rd down. And they'll run it here. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the 1st quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last time that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. That's complete. It's Travis Kelce. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. The Chiefs are 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season, and they fell in the opener. Got back on the beam with a win in week 2, but stumbled again last week to fall under 500.
And despite that stumble, I don't think anyone's too concerned because they've made mistakes that they believe are correctable. And this is a team still getting to know each other. I'm not that concerned, and neither are they. Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Arrowhead. It's the Chiefs in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Yellow.
In motion right, that's Hardman. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he's just going to run right into that big old defensive end. And that play going nowhere. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And some room to run now. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 16. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. He's got it. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs go up by 2 touchdowns.
I know a lot of coaches like to break their season into quarters. And how about the first 4 games for this guy? 3 touchdowns scored, really making his mark in the red zone here in the first month of the season.
Extra point by Butker is on target. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. the scene, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. There on the stop was Leo Chanel.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On second down, Swift. And he's going to have a Rams first down as he'll get this up to about the 42. A nice toss play there to the left. More than enough room to move the chains.
And you know what I love about that play as a broadcaster? Seeing the big guys move. Seeing them get upfield and take out defenders. You know what I hated as a defensive back?
What?
That exact same thing. Seeing those linemen coming downfield, getting ready to blot out the sun.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 43 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Offensive line right now really freeing up the rushing lanes on this drive.
And we have to give them props. They've earned them. But these big runs that we're seeing, they don't result without everyone else being involved as well. Blocking on the perimeter has to take place downfield too.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down. They'll try it now with Swift. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. He's got his target. That's complete. Touchdown! Cooper Kupp, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams have got it back to within a score. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And that one makes it 14-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Here's Tony to return it as he brings it out of the end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. Running room at the 50. Look out. He might score. He will score. Touchdown, Chiefs.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy You give him the green light no matter where he fields in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. And you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Come on.
This is 2nd and 8. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Third and 5. This one across the 35. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. After getting this one across the 40. 77 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. Now it's Stafford. And he is caught. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself, you don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Once again, it's Swift. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. To throw is Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Now he's free at the 35. He may go.
As they started that drive, I think they looked at the scoreboard and said, this is a manageable deficit, guys, but let's go ahead and start cutting it down right here. Instead, an interception happened, so a 2-possession game might become 3. So as we get going here in the 2nd half, this could rapidly reach the point where there isn't enough time left for a comeback if their defense doesn't bail them out.
Pacheco will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Good work there, holding him out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Throwing now is Mahomes. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. That is caught by Rice for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there, laying himself out in the end zone. And the Chiefs have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Butker now to add the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
32.
Stafford going to give it to Swift. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Here comes Tony on the return. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now. On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he'll take this down to the 33.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Throw right side going to be caught by Hardman. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking.
And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey. He has career touchdown number 78, tying it with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order?
Touchdown, LA! DeAndre Swift with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Rams are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Here's Tony to return it as he brings it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
At their own 18-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. Down the right sideline. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 62 yards.
Boy, this has just been an offensive clinic. It's seemingly been one big play after another, and add this one onto the list. When you can bite off more than half the field on one play, Things are definitely working in your favor.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Again, it's Pacheco. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down.
A 44-yard attempt.
Butker's kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Nick Bolton there on the tackle.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. That interception, maybe the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation points, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man. Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they found a way to be successful with it.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll try for the first with Pacheco. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Yellow.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And He's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Wow, first and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. They'll run here with Pacheco. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. Second and goal. Now Mahomes. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. So on fourth down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way to field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
White 7, double right. You ready?
Here's Stafford. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. Swift going to try up the middle. And for one of the few times here today, this one's not going to go anywhere. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
It looked like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too